Remember, folks, clicking on this video is much like watching an overly violent or very depressing anime or movie. You know what you're getting into. You know what's going to happen. You know what type of content you're about to receive. You know what's about to premiere. So thus, you picked it, you selected it. So thus, you are at fault. If you do not like riffs, if you do not like me making complaints, if you do not like commentary, if you do not like me pointing out the stupidity of a scene, go ahead and click something else. Go ahead and pick another video to watch. Like A Rose is a Rose, a classic MLP story featuring Fluttershy going off on a whirlwind adventure with her friends to try to solve an old mystery involving the places of magic and finding out more about her past. You could listen to that instead, but you chose to listen to this. I am not responsible for your decisions here. I am not responsible for you picking this. This is all on you. I'm only doing this to entertain the people who like me commenting, riffing, complaining, insulting. I would also like to remind you that in all these examples I've been giving of videos you could be watching are stuff where I don't mock, I don't insult. As a matter of fact, I comment and I talk about how much I love each scene. I'm only doing it for this fic because I don't like it. And I'm only doing this fic because I'm having fun. I am enjoying myself. I am having fun illustrating why this fic is bad and why I enjoy the other stories. What's more, don't try to be like a certain somebody and coming to my fanfiction pages and leaving behind reviews as anonymous sources, because I tend to delete anonymous reviews if they don't already get deleted automatically by the site in in a few months. So that being said, welcome back, everyone, to Darkness is the Message by Mikey, Chapter 19. Bring it on, baby. There's that jackhammer and drill again, people. Mike is still trying to push this fic in. Kagome had finally awoken, but still felt a little weak. In you, Asa? Hey, how are you feeling? Okay, guys, I think the jackhammer is about to break. Well, at least now we can stop trying to jackhammer into Iwasa part. We got the bigger one! Oh no. Frack. I'm really tired, Kagami said. I had one crazy dream. I dreamt everything I knew and loved was gone. Oh, that wasn't the shadow, sweetie. That was just the Kanto earthquake hitting. Yeah. Don't know how to tell you this, hon, but Mike ended up creating the world of violence, Jack. Not a pretty sight. Be glad you're over here in the field era. You also didn't know how to break it back to her. About that. He paused. Was it a dream? We were both there in your home time, or what was left of it. Gami immediately went to uneasy and tearful state. So, they're all gone? All of them? Easy, said Inuasa. Remember, right now that hasn't happened yet, so there may be a way to save them. Hearing and understand this really helped Kagome stop herself from passing out again. You're right, she said, trying to keep herself steady. We can save them. Naraku came in with a slap on his face, followed by an angry Sango, who obviously gave him the slap for trying to grope her again. No, I know why she slapped him. It was a rough night. They were enjoying themselves. Naraku acted proud as if nothing had happened. Pardon the intrusion, but we have been discussing matters. I bet you two were! Why to have Kinko and Ginkgo here a little bit early, are we? Going and Iwasa always seemed unimpressed to his obvious, unseen behavior. There may be a way for us to convince the Dark Angels to forget their ravishing before it happens. And as to confront Nobunaga and attempt to reason with him. Going and Iwasa felt was the best way. One thing, Iwasa pointed out, how are we supposed to attract him? Yeah, asked Shippo. When we do find him, none of us can actually see or talk to him directly. None of us, said Sango, except the princess. Guys, I have a theory. Work with me on this. I think out of the 4 stories here, probably the reason why Maiken is so trying to jackhammer into Iwasa's segment, he actually likes Inuyasha unironically. Yeah, I know it's kind of a shock to think about it, but I think he genuinely likes Inuyasha. There's going to be a few more bits of proof here and there, but I think he genuinely likes this show. I'll tell you why in a little bit more later. Follow, everyone got the drift. You really think we can find Princess to find Nobunaga's spirit? I'm with you, Shippo, said Kakame. The princess has been through enough, just like me. She paused and reflected on her destroyed time. But she quickly snapped out of it, hoping that this plan would work and she'd get it all back. Then, Lord Hime came in the room. Lord Princess? I'm sorry to interrupt, but have you seen the princess and her husband? They have not returned from the outdoors for some time. The gang felt concerned. Then it got worse as one of the guards came in. My lord, we have a report there's a horse missing from the stables. What? Suddenly, Miyoki came in, hopping in. Missing Yuasa. He cried as he hopped onto his shoulder. I see it with my own eyes. The princess and her beloved running out into the open fields. The all gasped. But Raku was just out there waiting to cause trouble, said Sango. We should go after them, suggested Moroku. He also agreed. Even Kagome wasn't willing to let her sadness and fear of all of it lost go back. The horse had carried the royal couple out into the field. Suyu sat in front, and her husband behind her. They both had small search in a nearby field for Nobunaga's spirit. Foolishly left without an armed fleet of escorts. He had gone too far from the village anywhere and were still within the boundaries. Do you see him anywhere? Suyu looked over for Nobunaga's spirit, found nothing. She remained determined not to give up. Suddenly, up ahead, who should be there but Sesshomaru? He recognized the royal couple instantly. He was also busy playing with his twin girls. Hey! Okay, you keep this Yashihime reference party up, and we are going to put a limit on him! Bite me, Trix! Kimo urged Suyu to turn the horse around and retreat, but Jaka produced a wall of fire, spooking the horse, and the couple fell off. Near a poor corn. Forgiveness, said Jaka, but my master wishes a word with you two. Suyu trembled nervously, but her husband stood before her, drew his katana as Sesshomaru appeared. There's no need for weapons, Sesshomaru said. I have no intention of harming either of you. I really have use for you both. Do as I say, or I'll have to change my mind. Kimo stood tall and brave, but not letting his wife aside. Hey! He also called out as he and the gang came rushing in. Sesshomaru! Fancy running you here. Kakame tended to the royal couple. Are you two okay? Never mind them, said Sesshomaru. They have served their purpose. I want to drag you out here, Inuyasha, because now you're going to tell me what I want to know about this darkness. Inuyasha did not seem amused. Why should I tell you anything? None of your business anyway. Why don't you just mosey on out of here? Because Kirinmaru is curious too, and he is annoying me with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the boat, but I'm kind of curious as to why this darkness is annoying me. And Zero won't let me hear the end of it. Okay, that's it! We're limiting you to 2 Yashihime references per chapter from now on! Alright, I promise. Only 2 Yashahime references per chapter. Starting next chapter. Oh, I better get all the Yashahime references out of the way then. Says Summer smirked. Anything that has to do with you is my business. My patience are notwithstanding. There is another way to get what I want. Drew out his sword, Tokochin. Iwasa drew out the Tetsaiga, and the two looked ready to brawl. Because, they've had so many brawls in the actual show itself. But suddenly, a swarm of insects came in. The Samosio? Cried Sango. Kagome's head tingled. It's just a load of jewel shards. Everyone got there. Then they heard the sound of a sinister snicker. Naraku! Iwasa growled. He appeared, dressed in his baboon fur coat. Even Sesshomaru was not too pleased to see him. What the frack do you mean, not even? Sesshomaru hates Naraku! Actually, they all do. I think probably the only member of the cast that likes Naraku is, No. Kagura hates him too. So does Kaede. The little boy. Don't tell me. Let's see. Oniguma? No. Oniguma doesn't like what he became. Yeah, and Oniguma is Naraku. Let's see. No, not Koga. Todesai? No. Somebody out there in the world of Inuasa's gotta like Naraku besides himself. Hell, one of the big reasons why Sesshomaru hates Naraku is because Naraku used him. Sesshomaru will gladly join with his brother to kill Naraku. That's part of Sesshomaru's character. This is why Sesshomaru is a gray character. He does not think so much of him as a light or dark side. He just thinks, okay, Naraku messed with me. He deserves to die. He also is starting to lighten up to Inuasa. So yes, the even part makes no sense. Because Sesshomaru does not like Naraku. Nobody likes Naraku. Okay, maybe Naraku likes Naraku. Naraku snickered. It seems you and I have a common goal, Sesshomaru. But unlike yourself, I intend to collect. He then held up several jewel shards, which were glowing black. He's tainted them with demonic aura, said Moroku. Without saying anything else, Naraku tossed the shards to the ground. The magic in each shard spread the dark aura like an eerie fog. It's practically as dark as night now. What are you up to, Naraku? Iwasa snapped, but Naraku didn't answer. He didn't have to. Wait a second. This is dark aura! The others all realized. The Shippo cried, he's going to use the dark angels! Dark angels? Sesshomaru muttered. Rin and Jaken were hearing nearby. What's a dark angel? How should I know? Replied Jaken. The gang knew whatever Naraku was planning to do couldn't be good. Gee, I wonder if that's because he's the villain. Naraku didn't dare use his wind tunnel with the Saimoso around or he'd be poisoned, but he did have an idea. Let's try to purify the jewel shards. Kagome agreed and aimed her bow ready to shoot the jewels. One strike from the sacred aura would dispel the dark aura and taint the shards. Naraku, however, was ready for this too. Summoned forth many demons that were powered with tainted jewel shards. Where the frack is Kagura? Or Kaede? Or Kana? Great, this is all we needed, said Sango. Hilala growled angrily. Kagome could hardly sense the demon's powers. Be careful, she cautioned everyone. Those tainted shards make the map much stronger. Leave this to me, said Sesshomaru. He then leapt into attack one of the demons, striking it hard with his sword. The demon's bite was a lot stronger and hard to graze. Another demon lunged for him. Oh no, you don't! Shouted Inuasa. He slighted on the head with his own sword, grazing it but good. Not enough to keep it down. Inuasa! Cried Kagome. Naraku tried to wrestle with a demon with his staff, but the demon's strength was too much for him and pushed him back hard. So Sango Kilala pulled him back up and lifted him to safety. Thank you, Sango. Don't mention it. The battle raced on. Naraku was beside himself, glee, contemplating. Any moment now. In the digital world, stop! No! No, no, no! No! No. We're not doing this. There's a cool fight over there happening with Naraku and Iwasa and the gang, and you're trying to interrupt with this digital world shit? No! No! When do we get back to the Iwasa part? Okay, fine. Let's see. No. More stupid. Okay, that far into the fic? Fine. Gotcha. I know what to do. Before I get to Lonely Place of Dying, here's why I think Mike actually likes the Inuyasha segments and likes Inuyasha in general, unironically and without as much hatred. First of all, well, I don't think, and I think a lot of the characters would agree, and I don't think Inuyasha would think that the Dark Angels are in the right. Let us work with Mike's standards. Herein, Mikein has a standard of anybody who messes with the Dark Angels or tries to help is in the wrong, and thus they must be punished for wanting to help. Alright, good. We got that set up. Who amongst the four groups are the ones that are saying we don't want to mess with the Dark Angels and we want to just go on and live our lives? The Inuyasha group. Next, when it comes time for them to try to talk to the Dark Angels, they're just trying to figure out how to talk to them. And their plan to talk with them is seen as okay. There's nobody disagreeing, there's nobody arguing, there's nobody ranting, there's nobody yelling. When the Dizzy Destin wants to mess with the Dark Angels, they're seen as in the wrong. When Twilight wants to help save the Dark Angels, they're seen as in the wrong. When the Titans accidentally mess with the Dark Angels, they're seen as in the wrong. And when Kagome's group wants to talk to the Dark Angels, it's okay. And later on in the story, we see that they do get to talk to Erebus and Nobunaga and all that without repercussions. Twilight and the others try talking to Erebus and the others, and there's a massacre that happens. What's more, of the four groups, the Inuyasha team has the least amount of flanderization. Oh, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of typical Mike and flanderization to be about. Kagome's overly bitchy, Sesshomaru acts more like a Sentai villain, and Naraku just sits back and relaxes for a bit, and Koga's over the top. But look at how the Dizzy Destin was fucked up. They're overly angry. They hate each other. They're turned into assholes. The Titans, they're overly done. They're treated as lowlifes. They are treated as jerkists. The ponies are treated as naive and sweet and blah blah blah. What's more, when we get to the Inuyasha chapters, they're better structured. There's a lot more going on in there, and there's a lot more plot. There's a lot more adventure, and for all intents and purposes, plays out like a normal, badly done Inuyasha story. Not good Inuyasha tale, but a bad one. But still, in comparison to the others, not so bad. Makes me wonder if Mike genuinely likes this, and when he got to the part where he wanted to try to make them suffer, he saw that there was so little that went against his beliefs, he had no choice but to like it. That's why the Inuyasha bits feel so jackhammered in, because He genuinely likes it. And without his hate feeling it, he can't rely on his old tropes. He's got no choice but to tell a story. And I think that's messing with his way of thinking when it comes to this. You'll see more of that later on as we continue. But for now, I can think of a few more things we probably all want to be listening to at the moment. We continue. I read about you closing down, but I couldn't figure out why. Now that I'm here, I'm beginning to understand.
Not the greatest show on earth, is it, Dick?
Mr. Haley, when did it go wrong?
Harrison hates Haley to hit fifth. Even when you were a kid, Mr. Haley sounded so formal. Harrison or Harry, okay? So when did it go bad? Last 5-6 years, I think. Too much TV, too many video games, who knows? Hell, but I can't even turn a profit. Hell, I can't even stay even. So I decided to stay, but the only bidder was some corporation who wanted their logo tattooed on the elephants. Look, I didn't want to sell, so I cut down expensive. Would have worked, except for all the accidents we had.
Accidents?
Yeah, cost us a fortune. It brought down our selling price. You know, sometimes I just sit here and remember the good old days.
He looks towards a photo, namely 3 trapezers. A man, a woman, and their young son, Dick Grayson. We were barely breaking even back then, too. But man, we were having fun.
You can still have fun, kid. Want to see the best store in town?
You had to ask? He leaves, trying to reconcile the past and the present. Kids grow up and change, but why should everything do the same? Animal cages stink with waste. Is it always this way? At times like now, he wishes for Never Neverland. The scream! It's coming from Clown Alley! Rushing, Dick runs into the clown side to see the strong man wrestling with a blonde man.
You stupid drunk!
You're ruining everything. Drink yourself to death, but you won't pull me down with him! A small person stands up from his chair. Lillian, leave him alone. He's sick, can you see that?
No, I'm alright. Alright, you can barely stand. The rest of you, you're all losers just like him. You're keeping this pony show alive when we all know it should be sold before you'll drag it to the mud. You think I'm sabotaging us, don't you? Just to scare off buyers. But not, Pedro. I swear I'm not. Oh, sir, jealous, that's all. My contract says if Haley sells, I'm free to leave and make it to the big time. You're all stuck in here in this godforsaken hellhole. But it's not over yet.
Nice going, Harry. The freaks, the people of the circus all stand around, watching as the clown stands in a puddle of broken booze.
Just leave me alone, Tom. Just leave me be. My head hurts less. I need a drink.
Figures. He picks up the empty bottle.
Nothing left. I may get sober despite my best intentions. Why don't you pull it out of your brain cell? Be easier this way. Oh, shut up! All of you just shut up!
The man throws the empty bottle, but it's cast before it can hit an innocent woman. Dick Grayson looks. It was 1855 when Day City Stoddard first received a patent for the steam calliope. Since then, its rinky-dink music has brought smiles and laughs to the circus everywhere. A couple begins to walk in. This place is supposed to be jinxed. Ah, that's just an old wives' tale. I'll pretend to you if something happens.
You there, it's starting. Take a seat.
The roundabouts begin to work, setting everything up, hitching the tent, and staying at the trapeze.
Peanuts, popcorn, souvenir programs, flashlights. Get your flashlights here.
He's gotta be here. A young man takes a photo. I can feel it in my bones. You know, I've always wanted to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's great, it's stupendous, it's the world's greatest show. The Haley Circus proudly presents Circus 2000!
The amazing feats, the wild animals, the laughable clowns. It's the sights and sounds that have thrilled generations. Almost all eyes are riveted to the main ring. Almost, but not all. Where is he? He thinks. I know he's here somewhere. All across, people with guns fire, women breathe fire, people bounce on top of horses, clowns cheer and bring laughter to all. Men are set on balls. Mr. Muscles, the strongest man on earth, struggles to lift a Volkswagen and 4 friends high into the air. The car raises, the audience stares in awe. They'll see him, he says. But where else could he be? The 24 clowns steam out of the tiny Volkswagen. His gaze passes slowly over the crowd. That's him? No. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he isn't here. They gasp as the acrobats pass quickly over above their heads. If he isn't, then I wasted all this time. Wait a second, of course! He's a master of disguise. I've been looking for Dick Grayson, but he could be anyone. Picking up his binoculars, the young man continues to watch. He wouldn't need to hide his identity here. So that means he must be dressed up as something that belongs in a circus. No, not the roustabouts. They're too tall.
Up! Up! Talk! To everyone. Got the?
Yes. Vendors? No, not them. After all these years for the circus, he probably want to get in the thick of it.
There, Gotta. So for the people. Gribble, come here.
The lion tamer continues to practice and play with his pets. The clowns? Gribble, stop.
Stop. The lioness begins to attack. Gribble, do as I say.
One of the clowns watches in horror as the lioness attacks. Oh my god, she's going after Wilhelm.
Dick, stop! To bring in the trank guns.
Come on, Gerbil, get off of him. You know you're a bad cat. Move away, Gerbil. Wilhelm, how are you?
My neck.
He's torn up my neck.
No choice then.
Stop him! Watch out! No good. He missed. Gerbil's riled. They can't stop him. Everyone, keep back! I'll give him time to reload. Swinging in without missing a beat. Dick Grayson climbs up the rope, swings to the trapeze, slips around, and brings out a net. That jump. That's him. It's gotta be Dick. No, Gerbil. Let's get your traitor. It's definitely found here. I got him! Move in!
Don't hurt him. Keep him sedated.
Stick to that, fast! The lion begins to struggle over beneath the net. Hold him still while I strike him. What in the hell happened? How's Wilhelm?
Oh, I don't believe it. He's dead. His neck was gouged out. He's dead. God. God.
The young boy watches in horror, just standing there. With that, the circus closes for tonight.
I don't have the energy to go on. That was the last straw. I give up. So sold when I had the chance. Now nobody wants us. I had to declare bankruptcy. The insurance company said Gerbil was rabid because we didn't take proper care of him. Cancel the insurance. At least you were here, Dick. Gerbil got into the audience. Well, it's over now. You knew it had to happen someday.
Dick Grayson can only frown and look down. I'm gonna look around a bit. There are people I want to say goodbye to. Dick continues to walk, saddened, heartbroken at the loss of his beloved circus. Am I the only one who wants a Nightwing movie? I can't be the only guy who really wants one right now. Something's definitely wrong. Accidents don't happen with such frequency unless they're planned. Hey?
Hey, you don't belong! Get out of here!
Sorry, I can't leave, the young man says, pushing the trash can away.
What in the hell? Joey, stop him!
The young man did polefuls, using the man, one of the workers as a horse. So sorry, too late. Whoa there! Don't know who you are, kid. You're not gonna find out either. Where's my momentum flip me? He's good. Landing on his feet, Dick grabs him and flips him over. So am I. Don't let this go. I can turn his own trick against him. Okay, kid, I think we should talk. Thank goodness it's you. Dick, I've been thinking of proof. I think the old clown murdered the lion tamer. This shocks Dick. Meanwhile, the two garbage men listen.
That brat trying to sneak under the tent?
Let's see to the lesson. No, I'll take care of this myself.
Yeah? Shoot yourself.
How do you know me? And who are you? Dick, no time for that. We know who the killer is. Go get him. Then you gotta get back to Batman. He needs you. What are you talking about? I was listening and I heard someone say the cat might have been doped. So I searched garbage bags full of food and found something. Reach the end. He pulls out a small liquor flask. It's Harry the Clown's liquor flask. It must have something in it that drives a cat crazy. Analyzing it to prove it wasn't an accident. It was a clear circus, right? You still can't prove Harry's responsible. He's a drunk, but not vicious. Dick says, looking at the bottle, then back to the young man. But Dick, he and the lion trainer fought like crazy. I know you care for him, but the killers copied Harry. Taking this evidence, Dick runs off. Hey, where you going? You stay put. We'll talk later. Got things to check out.
Harry, you wanted to see us. You okay?
No.
Nah, look out. It's nice easy to win. Good reason, too.
Strong man and young and small man will step in.
You killed Will, didn't you? You killed it by dumping Gerbil. And you ruined it for us all.
You stupid drunken sot. I am. Heaven help me, I am. Dick found this. It's my booze flask. Makeup's all over it, but I don't remember any of it. Dick gave it to me. Told me I had to do what was right. Said maybe someone else was wearing my stuff. Dick thinks that there are tests to prove if my skin was under the makeup or not.
You know I do, like I do. There's no such tests. Besides, the food waste was to cover it all up. So why don't you confess and get the circus on the hoof?
Wait a minute. Nobody knew the waste was found in the flask was found in the food waste, except the person who put it there.
Stupid slip. Really stupid. Simpson,
The short man says to the giant.
make it look like suicide.
Slowly, the strong man walks towards the defenseless clown.
Simpson, I didn't think you were involved in this, too. Sorry, I got to do this. You were one of the best.
The clown's eyes turn from fear to determination.
Thanks, Samson.
But I'm afraid you got the wrong clown! Spinning around, he does an axe kick into Samson's face. Moving quickly, he tosses out of the trouble hit.
No, you can't get away. You can't stop us.
Samson, I already have.
Yeah, we're all right.
As the fight carries on, Dick takes out Samson with an elbow to the back of the neck.
I can't believe Samson and Pedro.
Where is he? Where's Pedro?
What was that?
Coming up from back.
I don't see anything. As Dick Grayson steps out, his clown hat removed, he sees a young man sitting on top of one of the barrels. He was trying to get away. I stopped him. Inside the barrel, of course, is the midget.
You and I have got to talk.
Dick, thank you for believing in me. But how did you figure it out?
Harry, you couldn't have had the flask. I found it before Wilhelm was murdered and tossed it out. When I found it later, my prints weren't on it. Well, it meant someone saw me get rid of it and then retrieved it. I remember Pedro saw me, so I checked his past employment records. He worked for the corporation who tried to buy out Haley. They figured if the circus closed, they could buy what was left for pennies. Still trip. If you weren't around, we wouldn't have succeeded. Yeah, you were sloppy, Pedro. The police will have figured it out if I hadn't.
Wow. The young man watches, impressed by Dick Grayson's detective skills. And I thought Harry did it. Man, Dick is good. He's the best. And I swear to Celestia, if I hear or see anybody in the comments doing the obvious gag about Dick Grayson or Dick and saying, Dick is good, it is going to be 5 across the eyes. You people know what they meant. You know in your heart of hearts what the line means. Alright, hate to tell you this, but all ways of talking have silly terms. So, Dick also means human male genitalia. I'm not laughing. I'm worried.
Thank you, Dick.
My pleasure, Harry. I think I'm happier now than I ever been.
Oh no. He's joining the circus. He'll never tell Batman now.
You got the papers all drawn up. Send it to your lawyer.
Don't be silly. Your family. I'll do it myself. Take care.
You too, Dick. Maybe you'll come around more often.
Huh?
Dick Grayson leaves the office.
Dick, you didn't rejoin the circus?
It's better. I'm becoming its co-owner.
Now, who the hell are you? That doesn't matter now. Dick, look at this, please. Kid, I don't like games.
Young man hands Dick a manila envelope. Neither do I. It's important. I need you. Batman needs you. He reveals photos of Batman's last fight and how badly he's been hurt.
My God. How did you get these? Okay, what's going on? You know as well as I do that he hasn't been acting right since Jason died.
Dick at least stare on in shock. This boy knows who he is.
You know? Look, I know you're Nightwing. You used to be Robin. Jason Todd became Robin, and when he died, Bruce Wayne went to pieces. Dick, don't you see? He needs Robin. He needs him to remember what he used to be before his parents died. These pictures. Two-Face is back in town, isn't he? You can tell, just from them. Wow, you're better than I thought. I don't know how you learn everything. I can explain later, on the way to Gotham City. I'm not sure what came down between you and Bruce, but you do owe him something, don't you? Here's your chance to pay him back for wasting you all those years. Well?
Dick Grayson stands in silence. Night falls on Gotham City.
I see you, old friend. Hiding there in the dark of the night. Wherever you go, I'll be with you. You can't escape me, and perhaps I can't escape you. We're a really link, just the way I like it.
Batman stands on a long gargoyle, sitting, brooding, watching over the city. His city. Moon shining against his darkened form. He continues to keep it dark and haunting vigil.
If I want to murder Batman, I gotta learn to me.
Two-Face does a signature coin flip.
But how? What can I steal? What clues can I leave that are both obvious yet subtle? After all these years, it never gets any lonelier. Harvey is out there somewhere. He knows what he's planning. He knows what he wants. Well, I can only guess. If I can't find him, what can I do to make him find me? Blow up the Twin Towers? Possible. But what I get out of it besides Batman's death? I do still like killing two birds with one stone. Should I do it?
Oh, attacking the Twin Towers! Ooh. Okay, aborting this joke.
Scratch the tower. It's getting harder and harder playing these two-sided crimes. You know, it's an alter my modus operandi. Just this once. No, Batman would never believe it. What then?
Two-Face continues to look at his double-headed coin.
There's the charity performance of the Comedy of Errors here. Two sets of twin brothers, and the proceeds are going to two different charities. Shade. I gotta be a little. We'll be suspicious. Let's see. Two twins. Duo? Duet? Do any of them spark an idea? What's one he responds to? The problem is he's brilliant. I need inspiration. Something deadly. Something worthy. Deadly and worthy. Definitely a double threat. Dolly's double-headed paintings on exhibit. Not enough profit. The museum has a 210 jewel-encrusted demi-lune blade worth thousands. I could steal it and kill him at the same time. No. Having stolen weapons before, he's a suspected trap. Princess Diana's diamond pendant. Two rare Gutenbergs. Come on, man, think. I need to get in his head. Think as he does. Two minds, but we gotta be one.
Elsewhere in the gargoyle, Batman thinks.
Bruce Wayne could stay to defend the Twin Towers, but the 200th anniversary of Gotham City. Two possible targets, charity money and me. He has a psychotic need to achieve two goals with each crime. The man who is a distinct attorney is at constant odds with the man who's become Two-Face. But I know how he thinks. The idea is to exploit that. But how? What do I do? The Gotham Shakespeare Company is staging a benefit performances all week. They scheduled two gentlemen from Verona for tomorrow. No, too obvious. He's striking that out. So let's go over the obvious. Avoid to discard it. What's comes in twos? Duos? Even twins? What could he resist? You are a brilliant man, Harvey. I can match that. But I can't duplicate the insane way your mind works. Sanity and brilliance, definitely a double threat.
Batman wraps his battering rope around around a court so he could swing across the city. Gods of Goliath are playing a double header with the Minnesota Twins. Now, gate receipts aren't enough to interest him. Many technologies unveiling a binary fusion system that could be worth millions. Don't think so. He's rarely shown an interest in high-tech crimes. 2 of the Dead Sea Scrolls are on display. Think, what could lure him out of hiding? Give it to his head like he does. Am I the only one who gets really annoyed that the only Two-Face-centered films I've got that I can think out of my head are Two-Face plays a double bill role with 2 other characters? Kind of annoying.
What will you expect me to do? What can I do to lure him to me? Definitely a robbery. Something large, but not overly so. Definitely something he could steal, he could steal. Violent? Enough to convince him that robbery is my motive, not murder. Security? Enough to convince him the lure was real, yet not enough to frighten him off. Not jewelry, banks, not drugs, not the jewelry modern. Banks will cooperate, no drugs. A crime where I can net millions, and yet, oh yes, yes. It needs to be a crime large enough to entice him, and yet, yes, yes, of course! Batman, tomorrow. Two-Face, your crime spree ends tomorrow. Will be the last of your life.
That would be so cool animated, it would. That was a really good scene. Meanwhile, in the fic, we're just gonna fast forward through this because I know everybody just wants to need to do more Batman stuff, so I'm just going to give it to you sweet. Everybody's just talking around, trying to figure out just how on Earth they're going to fix everything and get everything back to normal. Matt's success, even though he's muted, the Dark Ocean. Meanwhile, everybody realizes and finally figures out that, hey, Kyrie and Mr. I Can't Keep a Single Roll Down are still alive in the Dark Ocean. Meanwhile, everybody else is, meanwhile, TK and Kyrie are feeling down and sad about their unpleasant meals. Oh, ew, no, I want a happy meal. They're eating right alongside those kids from Birdemic. That's why Jedi pops up and says, yeah, no, I'm sorry, but you guys are still technically illegal. But hey, as long as we watch over you and make sure that everybody's placed nice, you guys can still hang out with your Digimon. Everything's gonna be fine. And then everybody went back. However, Ken was still cold to TK and treated him like an ass. But hey, Kyrie was at least hoping that the rest of the gang wouldn't treat her and TK disharshly. It's Mike's fic. Everybody else is going to treat him crazy. Meanwhile, Robin's trying to ask, do Raven even know where the other creators are? Raven does. They're mostly a DC or a Marvel. That's where all the cool comic book creators are. So he might know how to awaken them, but first he had to confront Erebus himself and say, hey, could you might give that location to me? Although she could always just look it up from his files. I mean, he does have a filing cabinet, doesn't he? But, nope. Then Raven does the usual saying that she can absorb some of their powers and then give those powers over to the rest of the Titans. This is a thing with Micah. It really is. He cannot ever have a character be a badass normal. Or not have superpowers. No. They've always got to have the superpowers. They got to have the special abilities. Earth ponies, you need to fly. Micah cannot understand that some characters work great without the powers. Batman works great because his greatest strength is he's rich. No. His greatest strength is his mind and his damn near unbreakable will. Watch any episode of the animated Justice League, you can see where I'm getting at. Robin's greatest strength is just as a Batman. It's his mind, his intuitiveness, his ability to think on the fly. That's what makes him good enough to stand on the hills with aliens, cyborgs, speedsters, and such that. What Batman represents, and in a sense, Captain America and Robin, is the ability of the single man through hard work and dedication to be able to stand one of God's. What also gets me is that there are some people, namely some of the people who riffed my riff, are on Mike's side thinking, oh no, you need powers to be special. No, you don't. And they were trying to say that the reason for this was to match with what was going on in, Super Paper Mario. Yeah, why not just have the pixels? Those would work. I would almost be okay with that. But again, it still wouldn't match for this character. Batman with superpowers is just as annoying as, say, Captain America without a shield and instead with lightning gloves. This really wouldn't work. Batman is good and Robin is good without the powers. And giving them superpowers like this, it's just basically you giving up and saying they need powers to fight what's up ahead. Because you don't want to think. You don't want to be creative. Yes, there are ways to take it this too far. Please see Act of God. But you don't have to. You can always have the character be smart and intuitive. This reminds me of how many times Micah says, your logic will save you here now. All that tells me is that he can't stand logic or characters who are creative or characters who don't fight without powers. Then they proceed to introduce Labor and Terra. Meanwhile, in Discord's realm, Applejack proceeds to question Twilight Sandy, and Twilight just talks about how everybody's going to go over and help actually talk to Erebus. And even then, they are also going to get the dark power from Erebus, and everybody's just following the same plan. Get the dark power, put the type of magic together, amp up the volume, charge up, hunt down Erebus. Or go back to the dark world, try to fix things from there, use the dark power, yada yada yada, use dark magic, take dark magic, apply it to you, head on, apply it to the forehead. Easy peasy, either fix or find the other creators. Lather with repeat for the next 3 scenes. And Discord tells everybody that you were wandering them. Back in the Field era, Dark Demons were proving a lot harder to beat than you ever thought. He suffered so many blows from the fire's attacks and still seemed going. Damn, growled Yuasa. This orc keeps making the demons stronger. You gotta try to get rid of it. Kagami was still unable to get a clear shot at the tainted jewel shards in the ground. All those demons just roaming about. Even then, she still had to protect the royal couple. Himo and Suyu held each other tightly as they still waited behind Kagami. We need help, said Kagami. Suddenly, a stray arrow flew past her and struck the ground where one of the jewel shards was. Huh? said Kagami. What? Said to Yuasa, and everyone turned to saw Kikyo. Naraku was none too pleased to see her as he glared straight at him. Naraku hissed. It seems I am attracting quite the crowd. Flattery does not become you, Naraku, said Kikyo. He aimed her bow again and fired straight at him, forcing him to leap out of the way. Yuasa was so lost by the presence of his former love, he lost almost all sight of the battle, especially when Sasumaro used Totoki to fire its Kensutsu needles at the demon he was facing, killing Yuasa. So he had not seen at the last second jump out of the way in time. Hey, watch where you're aiming! You almost got me! Sasumaro showed no qualms for this and focused on the battle, much to his brother's irate. Even with Kikyo now helping, the fight was still barely evenly matched. As long as the Dark Aura stayed, the demons would never stay down. Moroku couldn't bear any of this any longer, left out Kilala. Moroku! Called Sango. Then she saw him unbinding Perry Priest in his hand. No! Don't do it! You'll get the poisoned insects! Cried Simpo. Moroku didn't care. Wind tunnel! The wind began to blow, absorbing the air itself, some of the darkness along with it. See, this is what I'm getting at. It's still bad, but it's kind of like more comforting. What can I best describe this as? It's like watching an enjoyably bad movie. You know, a better one, a good, high quality bad film where you can see that there's actual effort and people actually wanted to do it. The other bits, the Pony Titans and Digimon, feels like somebody who really got their jollies off of mass murder. How foolish. Naraku stared. Watts says Moroku got some of the insects as well. Stop! Moroku! Shouted Kagami, but Moroku wouldn't stop until he started feeling sore inside the venom as the insects spread. Now he was forced to reseal his hand. He collapsed to the ground. Moroku! Cried Sango. Seeing Simple left off Kilala to tend to him. Sango, groaned Moroku. I failed. Didn't absorb enough Oyora. Is he alright? Cried Lord Hime. No, he isn't, said Kagami, as he told Sango to take Moroku back to the palace to treat the poison. Sango hesitated at first, not wanting to leave her friends at the mercy of the demons, but Moroku's worsening condition made her change her mind. Shiba flew off on Kilala. Iwasa was furious. You'll pay for this, Naraku. Naraku only snickered. You shouldn't go blaming me for what the monk did on his own accord. Even you and your friends have warned him not to. He also roared at Chargestown, but the demons blocked his way and forced him to jump away when they attacked. So Sumeru leapt in and hacked some of the demons right down the middle, finally defeating it. Where's the Sumeru? Cried Jokin. Well done! Randos lost her master and future husband with glee. Moroku may not have absorbed all the dark aura, but at least enough to weaken the demons slightly. They were still far too strong to keep down. Oh, if only this was later on in the show, Inuyasha could adamant barrage them all. Kikyo stood near Kagami. I need your help. If you could strike the demons, I may be able to strike the tainted shards and weaken the aura more. Kagami agreed. The two archers got their bows ready. Kagami fired a shot at one of the demons, stunning it. This gave Kikyo the clear shot she needed. She fired her own arrow at a jewel shard in the ground. The sacred aura purified the shard. The dark aura emitting from it ceased. Still was just one shard. Was another insect came back to Naraku. Nice shot. Yes, it's a pity there's still more. He's right, called Kagami. How are we going to take care of all the others? Kikyo couldn't answer. She stiffened. I sense a spiritual force is near. Kagami froze on the spot. And then, right before everyone's eyes, the dark aura was being soared to the sky. Stronger than what Moroku did. What's going on? Asked the Sumeru. He also looked up. While he couldn't see, he figured he knew what it was. Nobunaga! Called Tsuyu. He couldn't see him, but right in the air and absorbing the aura into himself. Regardless of how Nobunaga may or may not have resented the others for all the pain and torment he had suffered, these days he was still bound by the Dark Angel's code. To absorb the Dark Aura from the respected world he once lived in. You know, dude, you could have gotten one of your allies to do this. Could have done something else. Could have waited. Hell, you still haven't defined what Dark Aura is. Hell, apparently it's not even. It's apparently just sometimes. Apparently you just have to wait around. You guys suck at your jobs. Naraku could see him as always, also being a creature of darkness himself, but no one else could. Not even Sumeru. What's going on? I see no one. He also didn't answer, but once this Nobunaga absorbed the last of the dark aura from the air and tainted shards, thus the skies were clear again, and the demons had lost their strength. Now's my chance. He gloated, prepared to finish them off. But Naraku surprisingly called the demons off and absorbed them back into his body. He glared straight back up at Nobunaga. So, you are the creature of darkness everyone speaks of. Nobunaga was shocked that this creature could see him. However, he simply scoffed. My business here is completed. I'll take my leave. On the contrary, I think you'll be staying, hissed Naraku, and out from his fur he pulled out a wooden block with a secret seal on it. Kikyo gasped, a Ryoku block. Go may have read about those from ancient history books. He's going to try to capture Nobunaga's spirit. What's the problem? I just realized, I know Ryoku is spiritual power. That's what it's supposed to be. Kind of like how demon power is. But Ryoku is also apparently spiritual power mentioned in Bleach. And I'm just miffed that TK's not here so I can do a Bleach joke. But right now, all I'm thinking is, great. Bad enough for getting this involved, but now we're getting the Shikigamis in. Therapist is fucked. And just feeling bad that on my post RP, I didn't bring in anybody from Bleach. Well, it would help if we watched anything else from Bleach. Yeah, so I mean, we've only watched about a few episodes, and then we only watched the live action movie and maybe read the manga. I don't really get more into Bleach. Naraku tossed the block straight at the spirit. Nobunaga, Carol, said Tsuyu. The Seniors watched as Nobunaga remained where he was in midair as the block flew up, straight toward him without harming him or capturing him at all. Naraku growled. Nobunaga narrowed his eyes at him as he hovered to his level and glared at him through his mask. You'll find I'm not like ordinary spirits. I warn you not to aggravate me further, for I am capable of causing great horrors beyond anything yourself would understand. Naraku remained silent, but hardly frightened. Wait a minute! Okay. This just proves my point! Right here! This one line! This just proves my point! Maiken is more for Inuyasha! Why? Because everybody else is the Dark Angels, so scary! Oh my gosh, it's the darkness, I am like so frightened. And the bad guys for the other stories are like, yeah, we shouldn't mess with them. Oh, we are so frightened. Naraku? Oh, no. Naraku remains silent and hardly frightened like a boss. This was... I'm not used to doing this, guys, but kudos, Maiken. This is the most in-character thing you have ever written in your fucking life! And this is a cool moment! This is an in-character cool moment from Naraku! Naraku? I hereby give you the award for best character in this whole damn fic. Boo yeah. But he was starting to realize perhaps this kind of dark power was too much for even himself to bear. For the first time in his life, he was willing to back down. And we lost it. But still bringing a badass scene of Naraku. No! I want more of this! Fic, you know what? Can we just skip the Titans, the Digimon, and the Pony stuff? Because it's obvious to me that Micah doesn't care about him. All he wants to do is let his raids go out. He wants to do that, fine. I just want the Inuyasha stuff. It is not easy for me to admit defeat, but even I can tell where the line must be drawn. Inuyasha was twisted in shock. Naraku's actually given up. Even Kagami was amazed. Always the first time. Naraku's not giving up. He's just backing down and thinking of something better. Kikyo just summer remained neutral as ever. Didn't like it one bit. Raku did flop to the ground, baboon for melting away, revealing it was another of his puppets. The last of the insects flew away with the jewel shards. Iwasa just scoffed and sheathed his sword. Well, so much for him, the coward. The summoner looked rather disappointed and began to walk off. Where do you think you're going? Snapped Iwasa. I've wasted enough time here today. Like Naraku, I too have lost interest in this worthless pursuit. Iwasa growled, but his brother continued to walk away. Until we meet again, brother. Jaka and Rin jogged to catch up with him.
As well as little Choa Setsuna.
Nobunaga sighed, prepared to leave to retire into the dark zone.
Wait, Carol,
cried Tsuyu as he wrenched out of her husband's arms and dashed toward him. Princess! Called Lord Kimo.
Nobunaga, don't leave just now, Carol.
Hearing a voice seeing her face, it only brought him great emotional pain. Even though Kagome couldn't see Iwasa, she knew he could hear her. Please, we need to talk to you. It concerns us all. Nobunaga was growing annoyed, did not wish to be disturbed, and left him high in the air.
Nobunaga, don't leave. Wish to speak to you, Carol.
Nobunaga ignored her, created a portal in the skies to fly back to the dark zone.
Know your feelings for me, Carol.
And suddenly he stopped, frozen in shock. He just stood. He was in midair. Before his portal to the dark zone was close to his stalling. Kagome and Yuasa Kimo couldn't see him, but Kikyo, being dead herself, had a sacred power to enable her to see spirits. This spirit was a case of unrequited love. She thought to herself, is that why he's so dark and disturbed? Nah! He just really likes heavy metal. Nobunaga, still in shock, floated down to the ground. He turned to face the princess in her tear-filled eyes. In the present day, Nobunaga began to moan and groan and held his head. No, not again, he wailed. Or Nobunaga, one of the drone angel ladies, was wrong. My history has been altered once more. He wasn't the only one who felt this. Erebus himself felt the alterations in the timelines. Cursed immortals, even in the past, he found ways to disturb me. It's not now, their worlds are mine. Nothing will change what has been done. Meanwhile, back with the Dizzy Destin. They all start talking, trying to figure out they could use the stones to try to break in, and maybe use the light to fix in, and try to fix and correct all the problems that, oh my god, I don't think anybody listening to this video is caring. Tara gives birth to the little baby brat. Brat needs a gar, end of chapter. Oh, and I love this author's note. I know it seems kind of cheesy to have Naraku give up on her pursuit, but face it, he's not that much needed anymore, and the Dark Angels are actually involved in the actual Yuasa plot lines. He's just not needed anymore. He's not supposed to be the main focus, and I am getting tired. Let me translate this for you. I have realized I made a big mistake in putting in Inuyasha. Inuyasha and their connection with Nobunaga and the things that they have done with Nobunaga is tenuous at best. Their connection with Nobunaga's emotions and the pain that Nobunaga went through is very, very thin. Thus, I made a mistake trying to jackhammer in Inuyasha, even though they rarely affect anything and are just there for scenery. I've also begun to realize I actually still love this show. I've actually begun to realize that it does not have anything that I hate from the other shows for me to latch onto. So thus, I am creatively bankrupt. I cannot do my usual job with this. I've also come to the realization that there is only so much stretching I can do with Naraku before I've begun to realize that Naraku breaks my rules for this world. Naraku can control the dark aura himself. I have demonstrated this. Naraku can create his own dark aura. I have shown this. I've also seen Naraku suck in dark creatures and things that I've called dark aura. which means Naraku has the exact same abilities as a Dark Angel. I've begun to realize that not only does Naraku break my world, but Naraku could potentially take over and decimate everything I've worked for. So thus, I have to take Naraku out of the picture, or else Naraku will be the main villain when all I want to do is just insult and make fun of the ponies, the Digimon team, and the Titans. Otherwise, I'll end up making a story all about Naraku instead, and I don't want that. I just want to examine my hate. This is why writing hate fics is stupid.